I think you need to stop asking, what should I cook? When you go to your fridge to determine what you're going to make for dinner, or insert any meal, what should I cook is the wrong question. And I know this because I used to ask that same question. I mean, I still do, but with different intent. Most people, when they ask that question, it is, what should I cook? That's a kind of open-ended question, don't you think? At least I think so. And truth be told, it can be overwhelming. Like you open the fridge, see all of these things, and think it has to look one way, either through a recipe or maybe you have a dish in mind. But you're like, and then you close the fridge and you go order takeout. Or go eat a bowl of cereal. So the question, what should I make, is the wrong question. And by the end of this video, you're going to know the better question to ask that will help you along this meal building journey or through this meal building process. Now, why is this not a great question? Story time. Story time, and I'll share why this is not the best question or why this question is not it. Some years ago, I was going through a really stressful period in my life. Well, we all go through that, and I've had several of those. But this particular period was the start of Basic Bowl, or the whole Basic Bowl came about. And I had just stepped out of dieting, and this particular period of time, I stepped away from the dieting. You know, I was competing for years, and my life revolved around being in a calorie deficit and just eating as little food as possible, if I were to be honest. And so this stressful period where life was lifing, you know, nothing was perfect, everything was spelt out of whack. Just the idea of micromanaging food was not appealing. It wasn't appealing, but it also, I just could not, I didn't have the capacity for it. So I think I had a come to Jesus moment one day, or I was just fed up and opened my fridge and just took whatever I had in the fridge and threw it together in a bowl. And I was like, see what happened. It's all food. It's going the same place. I just needed to eat. And I started to do this a little more religiously. Like this literally became my process. I wouldn't think about it. I would just throw foods together. I knew what I had in my fridge. I more or less buy the same things every day, every week. You probably do the same thing too. Same protein, same starches, same vegetables and fruits, depending on the season. Same snackables, that type of thing. So I was like, I just don't want to think about it. Let's throw things together and see what happens. But I was also a visual person. And so in trying to keep with the balanced way of eating, I, wanted it to be colorful. So I started to put things in a bowl. And that's how Basic Bowl came about, truth be told. It was very basic, throwing things together to see what happened. But what I didn't realize at the time was by me taking this approach or choosing to just throw things to see what happened, the what should I cook became less open-ended and more what could these ingredients become. So this leads me to what the better question is, and it's exactly that. What could these ingredients become? So when I tell you that I go to my fridge, open it, saw what I had, and just threw it together in a bowl, trying to keep it as balanced as possible. That inadvertently became the framework for me. And the question of what could these ingredients become became the guiding light, I guess, if you want to call it that. So I would open my fridge, look at what I had, and even though I say I would throw the things together in a bowl, it wasn't always necessarily in a bowl. Sometimes it would be, this could be a sandwich, this could be a salad, this could be a wrap, this could be a stir fry or fried rice. And why was it mostly oftentimes fried rice? Because it's easy to throw chicken and rice and vegetables together in a pot and call it a day. But yeah, so that's the practicality of it. I literally would do that. And so I am inviting you to do the same thing, because that whole throw it together in a pan and see what happens, ultimately, that's about what I had available. And really, that's what it was, based on what I saw, what I had in front of me in my fridge and in my pantry, rather than the end destination of a recipe, which I think that's where most people start. A recipe tends to start with the end in mind. So the end in mind and you work backwards. So this is what we want, and we have to go back to using whatever ingredients to get there, versus this way of approaching it being, this is what I have in front of me, this is what I have available, what can I make with it, or what can I do with it, or what can I turn it into? And so that is the question that you need to be asking. When you go to your fridge at any moment in time, regardless of it's dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever the case is, ask yourself, what could these ingredients become? Like, I could even do that now for you. Go into my fridge, which I'm going to open, and I'm going to see that I have some chicken tenderloin that's uncooked. So that's raw meat. I have some chickpeas in here. That is, I could do something with that. I have some pickled vegetables, a bunch of pickled vegetables that I had done and haven't eaten all of it yet. I do have some cabbage and some kale, which I could use up. Of course, there are sauces in the fridge. And then if I were to go into my pantry, I would see that I have rice, I have more beans, I have pasta. I have jarred sauces like marinara sauce. What can these things become? And I'll even take it a step further by saying, okay, now that I've identified what I have, maybe I can do one of two things. I can either build whatever it is around one thing. So I could choose the tenderloin, the chicken tenderloin that I have, and build whatever it is around that. Or I could decide on a flavor profile. Let's say I want something creamy with a lot of, oregano, Italian type meal. Of course, that's going to be a pasta. I have some cream sauce in the fridge. So it could become that cream sauce, that chicken, plus some pasta. Throw some kale in there for, a little extra vegetables. So right there, I'm building a meal based on what I have in my fridge. And this is the exercise that I want you to practice. I'm giving that exercise to you. Yes, you're getting homework. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to your fridge first, because that's where we tend to have it's easier to build from what you have in your fridge, because sometimes you might have already pre-cooked stuff in there. You had leftovers from a different meal, so we could start there. So go to your fridge first, then I want you to go to your pantry. Look at what you have. So we're looking, but to make it even easier, look at proteins, starches, veggies, and or fruits, depending on the type of meal that you're trying to make, and some healthy fats, and then maybe something that's going to make it taste good. So let's go back to the example that I shared. I have some chicken tenderloin, I have some cream pasta sauce, I have the kale that I have, and I have pasta. So we've got the chicken tenderloin as protein, we've got the pasta as carbs, starches, we've got the kale for some vegetables, and the cream sauce is the yum, but there's also some fats in there. And then I'm going to probably use some olive oil too. I'm going to probably add as well some bell peppers to that, because I have some in the fridge and might as well use it up. So I'm going to saute the bell peppers with some olive oil. There's the extra fats, so healthy fats there. The cream sauce is what's adding that extra flavor to it. So I'm building it around that protein that I had, but I'm also, using a particular flavor profile. So you could do that. Build around a particular specific food, or build it with a particular flavor in mind. You don't have to do that. You can just start with the exercise that I want you to start, which is ask the question, what can these ingredients become? Because you might be surprised at what you find when you start asking that question. And you might be surprised how things feel. Maybe they feel more easeful, maybe they allow you to, maybe operate on, not autopilot, but let's just use ease. You have a little more ease. You won't have to think that hard. And if you try it, please come and let me know in the comments. Please, I would love to know if you try. Let me know what you built in the comments, because tomorrow or the next video, I'm going to show what the missing step tends to be between groceries and meal. And I gave it away, I think, in sharing all of this. But I'm going to go in depth on that in tomorrow's video. Come back to catch it. All right, see ya.